Hello, Virgo, and welcome to your July 2023 ethics reading. Ethics readings are a little different than the classic astrology readings. I do believe that there are 12 basic personality types as attested by Chinese astrology, Indian astrology, Western astrology. Things like 12 members of a jury, 12 apostles. These are all things that kind of attest to that. There are also personality systems like the DISC personality system that is also made up of 12 basic personality types. In terms of the Myers-Briggs system, you guys are the closest to the STJ personalities as sensor types. Both the ISTJs and the ESTJs thrive on logical endeavors and focus on getting things done in the most efficient way. ISTJ stands for introvert, sensing, thinking, and judging, and ESTJ stands for extrovert, sensing, thinking, and judging. You guys can be level-headed in situations where other types could easily become overwhelmed. So you're definitely somebody that people might want to have like in a foxhole with them during a crisis. And just getting back to the other personality taxonomy that I mentioned, there's the DISC system, and that stands for dominance, influence, steadiness, and conscientiousness. You guys would fall under the C umbrella for conscientiousness. And so you guys are very kind of, people can trust you to get things done. And that's a really good thing to be, a really good friendship trait. And but yeah, that's what, like in my ethics readings, I basically go toward personality types. I create a composite. And for instance, so it's made up of those four elements. There's, just for shorthand, just calling you Virgo, but then there's the Myers-Briggs system, there's the DISC system, but also there's a fourth system that I really like, and it's basically Plato. In the Republic, he mentions, you can see there in my logo is made up of an A and an E, but if you'll notice, there's three levels to it. And that's because in the Republic, Plato says that there's basically three types of people. There's your senses-based people at the bottom. Those are the most common people in any society. And those are people who are, just addicted to sensory stimulation. And unfortunately, at the bad extremities of that might be, drug addiction, sex addiction, gluttony, things like that. In the center are the honor-based people. And that is the, policemen, soldiers, politicians, people who crave honor. And at the top are the truth-based people. And the truth-based people are philosophers, scientists, etc. You guys, by the way, are temperamentally truth-based. And so I really am a big fan of kind of those personality categorizations, because there's a lot more to them than there might be to, kind of people doing half-baked tarot readings or bad I Ching or anything like that. Because I do believe that if you want to know your future, you have to know your character. You have to know your personality type. And that's what Heraclitus, the Greek philosopher, said. He said, character is destiny. And I do believe that, people generally operate in 7-year cycles, and they'll find themselves repeating the same things over and over. Like you might get in the first 7-year cycle, a little girl who is, her father is an alcoholic. In the second year circle, at 14, she might, fall in love with a little boy who is abusive like her alcoholic father. In the third 7-year cycle, she might get married at 21 and she marries an alcoholic. At 28, 7 years later, she gets divorced, but then she remarries another alcoholic. And anyway, people will operate in these cycles because people are creatures of habit, right? And that just habit feels more comfortable to them. And so they'll repeat the same cycles until they can kind of come to a consciousness of it, and they can break the cycle of dysfunction, and they can move on. They can level up to different things. But it first requires you understanding that, hey, I'm a type. I'm a personality type. I have a particular character. I have particular bents and inclinations. And that's why, like I said, character is destiny. And that's also why, like in Julius Caesar, Shakespeare says, the fault, dear Brutus, is not in the stars, but in ourselves. And so, there are various trends that happen. I am intuitive, however. I do believe that the universe essentially, gives us messages. And I do believe in things like, see, these are ethics cards, right? These ethics cards, have various quotes on them, and they're not like tarot cards in the sense they're just essentially quotes from some of the greatest ethicists and philosophers. And this might kind of hitting them randomly is the universe kind of communicating with us. As I said before, bibliomancy is the idea that you open the Bible, you stab your finger at a particular place, and you derive special meaning from the passage, the excerpt that you land on. The Romans did this with the Aeneid. That was the book that they had of their founder Aeneas. Mass, and Virgil wrote that, and so that was kind of like the Bible for Roman society, and they would do that. Remote viewers, military remote viewers, use a random number generator to basically assign targets for the military psychic spies, and so. In this case, we're going to be I'm shuffling right now the cards, and I'm going to be drawing 3 at random to see if there's any trends that the universe is giving you, any messages this month for the month of July 2023. And let's see. So in the first one, it says, fortitude is the guard and support of the other virtues. And that's by John Locke. Fortitude is the guard and support of the other virtues. So fortitude, that's an important message. Fortitude is your ability to withstand adversity. And Virgos are very good at that. You guys, as I said at the outset, you guys are good in a foxhole. You guys are good fighters. You have people's backs. You're truth-based. So you already have kind of that virtue. But yeah, fortitude is one of the main virtues, the cardinal virtues. The other message to you this month is honor is the moral conscience of the great. And that's William Devenant, right? Honor is the moral conscience of the great. This gets more toward honor-based people. Honor-based people, if you think about it, like a truth-based person, they have, kind of a conscience inside. It's internalized, right? So they won't do something bad because they just realize it's just wrong, and it's just inside. Something, their inner voice tells them this is wrong. For the honor-based people in the middle section of society, they basically have their conscience externalized, and that would be called a code of honor, right? Like the Marines, never leave a man behind, semper fi, that kind of stuff. For the lowest based people, sense-based people, that's why we have law. Law is also a form of externalized conscience, and that's for people who don't naturally have a conscience, like sociopaths, and then you need men with guns. If we had a society that were, had a conscience, an internal compass, then we wouldn't need all the laws that we have. And the third message to you this month is not being able to govern events. I govern myself. Montaigne, the French philosopher Montaigne from the 1600s. Not being able to govern events, I govern myself. That's a sentiment that Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, said, that we cannot control events. All we can control is our reaction to those events. And that is a very important message, and that's central to ethics. Ethics is about not moralizing to others, not telling others what to do, but how do you change yourself? It's personal development. And so that's one of the messages this month. Double down on ethics, on how you can change yourself, how you can be the change in the world that you see. And that's it for this ethics reading for you. And I will see you next time. Hopefully you will support me by getting one of my ethics courses. You could see the links down below, or otherwise I'll have to do this horrible merch. This is the Daniel Natal in action figure. And you can see Daniel surfing the net, or Daniel engaging in an action by watching TV, or the even worse Daniel Natal Pez dispenser. That was a bad merch idea. It's, you can get red pills from there. Or, but sadly that did better than the Daniel Natal urinal cake. That was a horrible merch idea. So remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons if you want to get an extra personal ethics coaching session. If you might have a thorny moral dilemma that you wanted to discuss with me, you could have a Zoom call. So the buttons are going to be below. You can pick what calendar date and time that you want to discuss any issue that you might have, anything that you're facing. Also, as I said, check out my ethics fundamentals course. The links are all below, and I will catch you next time.
The world is suffering from a moral decline. We've been lurching from one crisis after another due to a lack of ethics in society. You can do your part now by considering ordering my Ethics Fundamentals courses for your children, or if you're a small business owner, using them as part of your onboarding process for new employees. Employees these days have horrible soft skills. Help them out by teaching them ethics. Businesses lose 7% in revenue due to employee theft. Train a more ethical workforce and save some of that money. According to the Ethics Center in Australia, a 10% increase in ethical behavior is associated with an increase of 2.7 to 6.6% in individual wages. Implementing ethical structures makes your company more investable as well. Make ethics a part of your business processes, or if you're a parent, part of your homeschooling curriculum. Go to www.actionableethics.com and press the button to order the course. Actionableethics.com. Order now.